All right, team. So we're going to get pretty deep into figuring out how you get your staff to care if you feel like they don't care. And this is in terms of your kitchen staff or your on site catering staff. A lot of times, entrepreneurs get confused when they feel like their staff members don't care as much as them. Well, this is where you got to get hit with the hard truth. No employee is ever going to care even about 40% as much as you care. And you shouldn't expect them to. So the worst part about it is the expectation, because the expectation fosters problems within the culture. What do I mean by that? Okay, so you just simply expecting your staff member or employee to care more is a concept that's kind of silly. You have to put yourself in their shoes, take yourself out of your shoes for a second, and realize that they're just at a job. They don't give a damn about how you run the business, if it's going to be successful, if you make profit this month, if you don't make profit this month, if you're putting money into ads, if you're putting money into trainings, if you're buying new equipment, if your insurance is expensive, if a customer complains. These people are just at work. And obviously, you've already curated some of your staff to be more resilient, more understanding. But the truth is, they don't care. So you can't expect them to care. Now, there's always some level of care that they have to have in order to perform their job duties and actually be a successful member of your team. I'm not saying they can just slough off and not give a damn. But here's where the problem comes in. If you are constantly expecting your staff to care as much as you, then it'll be like the broken kitchen drawer symptom. So, my mom, back in the day, we used to have a broken kitchen drawer, and it was a little pull out like a junk drawer. But it wasn't the junk drawer though. Here's the key. It was the drawer that had the forks and the knives and all that in it. And literally every time she would go in the kitchen, she would pull out the drawer, and you ever know when the drawer is off of the rails and it'll just fall down and pop down? Well, that rail broke off or something. So every time she would pull out the drawer, it would just fall down. And she would get upset and she'd say, "Damn it, this drawer, I need to get it fixed." And I was just a kid, so I couldn't do anything about it. But she had that drawer broken for at least 2 years. And you got to think about how many times you pull out that drawer for your fork, knife, spoon. When you're in a household, you're feeding kids, you're pulling out that drawer 2, 3 times a day. Every time she pulled it out, it fell. And she said, "Goddamn drawer." And she got upset. This makes zero sense. Once I got a little bit older, I used to make fun of her about it, and she laughed too. But I'd say, "Mom, you can't keep getting upset about the drawer that's broken and you're not fixing it. You have to find somebody to fix it or figure it out, or you need to curb your frustration about the drawer dropping, since you know it's going to drop every time it pulls out." It's just simple math. Because you pulling it out and it dropping and you getting upset and re-upset every single time is horrible for your mental health. So let's relate that to this situation. If your staff doesn't care, or they're showing signs that they're not super excited about their job, or they don't care if the food cost is high, or if they use some waste, or if they cut slow because they're not in the good mood or whatever. And each time you get frustrated with them and you're thinking, "Why can't you just care more? Even a little bit is care as much as me." Then you are going to end up being frustrated more. When you're frustrated more, it leaks into the system and people start noticing that you're frustrated more. Therefore, people start to care less, because now you're just the annoying, frustrated boss. So that's what people are talking about when it's culture. It's a circular effect. The more you get frustrated because they don't care, then the less they care even more. You just have to think about the human psychology behind it. So once you stop expecting them to care like you, then it's a relief let off your back and you start to understand that they're not going to care as much as me. All I'm truly looking for is staff that cares about 70 to 80% as much as I care. Whole entire companies run off of 70 to 80% of what the founder or CEO is doing at the present time. Do you think American Airlines CEO gives a damn that flights are delayed or that people have complaints against the flight attendants on the flight? Obviously, they want there to be a happy customer, but they also understand that themselves cannot be on every single flight as the flight attendant. The CEO cannot be in every line checking people out. The CEO can't be in the air traffic controller booth controlling when the flights leave on time. They have to take some of that off of themselves, put other people in those positions that are not going to care as much as them. All we need is to breed an environment where people care 75 to 80% as much as us. And that's how you run a business. Perfection is the complete devil to progression. If you're always seeking perfection and you're always seeking your staff to care as much as you and to want it as bad as you do, and why aren't you selling as hard as me? Why aren't you cooking that dish as good as I cook it? It'll never happen. But that's where it comes back to mindset. You have to release that from yourself and understand that they're not going to care and they're not supposed to care. And it's okay. All of these people have their own dreams, their own ambitions, and they might not want to work for you for the rest of their life. So, how do we fix all this? How do we get them to care more? Well, there's a few ways. Fixing the culture means that you need to make people feel a part of something. How you make them feel a part of something is you start offering incentives. When they do a good job, give them a shout out to the rest of the crew. Give them a gift card in front of other people. Explain to them your whys, like, hey man, I'm really trying to build this thing up so that at some point, I'd like you to be running this whole event sector, or I'd like you to be ahead of the restaurant, or I'd like you to take over the role as kitchen chef and make a lot more money. So these things will make people feel inclusive and part of the crew and part of the big picture. When they just feel like a robot over there cutting up food or doing what you tell them to do, then all they're really thinking in the back of their mind is, I'm just here for a little bit until I get out of this situation, and then I'm going to be somewhere else where I don't care about either. For the most part, people are robots, and you can't expect them to not be robots. And you should be happy. Be happy that you are the entrepreneur, that you're the business-minded one. We need people frying fries everywhere. Don't try to convince them to be the businessman and to take over the world, but make them feel included, make them feel special, make them feel good about their position, and also open up to them. Let them know when you mess up. Instead of just being the almighty boss who's never wrong, let them know, like, hey man, did you see when I screwed that up? You really stepped in and saved the day for us. Appreciate you, pound. That's when they'll start understanding that, dang, my boss is a regular person and he or she's really just trying to make it happen too. And I'm kind of on and along the ride. It'll make them want to help you get to the next level once they see that you're a real person and that you have struggles and vulnerabilities as well. Most bosses are scared to show their vulnerabilities because they worry their staff won't respect them, when it's actually the opposite. The more they see that you have issues and you have faults and you're not the all perfect almighty boss, it makes them more open up to you, want to help you. And also let them know when there's issues and how you can fix them. Let them in on the wins. Let them in on the losses. Ooh, we took an L there. But just keep a positive mindset and a positive open form throughout the whole thing. And then when people have problems, you want to be open to allowing them to come talk to you about it without being defensive. If somebody says, hey, I really don't like how whoever's treating me, you don't just be like, well, that's just how he is. No, you say, hey, I super get it. I was in a situation where I was getting treated like that for a while, and I went about it these 3 ways. I'm going to talk to them. Let's see if we can get you guys on the same page. That's creating a culture. Once you create that circle of culture, then your team will warm up to you. They'll care about your outcomes. They'll care about your wins. They'll care about your losses. And overall, they'll care about the business winning or losing as well, which will make them automatically put more effort into their job and get them to that 80%, which is all we need. We don't need 100% out of them. Take that and run with it.